The primary motive behind building a Mini-ITX PC, in my mind, has always been to outclass the current consoles while keeping the system similarly small. However, the best graphics cards and CPU these days require large coolers and moving a lot of air, so skimping out on thermals isn't a great idea. Enter Lian Li spinoff Ssupd in its latest Meshroom S case, a versatile rectangular case with mesh on all sides, to deliver proper cooling while keeping things compact at 9.7x 6.6x 14.2 inches. This includes a PCIe 4.0 riser cable, but the company's previous Meshlicious case sells for just $99 and includes a PCIe 3.0 riser cable that, for many graphics cards and motherboards, will deliver about the same performance. Let's dive into this compact but complicated case to see if it can beat one of the strong competitors on our best Mini-ITX case list. My initial reaction to the Meshroom S was wow, it's a mesh rectangle. But once all of the panels were removed, it's clear there's more room inside than you might think. That said, it seems like Ssupd cut some corners regarding the chassis structural integrity. The Meshroom S never bent during the build process, but I was extra careful because it felt like that was a possibility. On the other hand, the panels are solid and snap into the case's frame easily. The case really only feels flexible when it's disassembled. Despite its size, the Meshroom S has a fair amount of space for storage devices. But installation requires more work than usual. If you want to install an SSD or two at the top of the case, you'll need to screw in an included bracket. Another option is the bottom of the case, but that means one of the drives must be covered by the power supply in order to fit too. Lastly, drives can be installed just above your GPU, behind the motherboard tray. But given how cramped the case is even with an ITX motherboard, I'd recommend using M2 drives. The Ssupd Meshroom S stands at 9.7x 6.5x 14.2 inches LWH, which is just shorter than the NZXT H1 V2. As I mentioned earlier, there's quite a bit of space inside, which made the build process simple as far as FF builds go. Most things just screw into the frame where it looks like they should go. Cooling in the Meshroom S is straightforward if you use this chassis with an ITX motherboard, emphasis on the ITX bed. Despite its size, the Meshroom S can also fit ATX motherboards, but you'll need to purchase a 250 riser cable, as the included one is too short. And what I said about the case being fairly roomy would definitely not hold true if you tried to fit a full-size motherboard here. Note also that while ATX power supplies up to 107 TIM are supported, if you use an ATX motherboard, you'll have to opt for an SFX, like the one I use for this build. Our acoustic test consists of 3 scenarios. We run the CPU at full load, the CPU and GPU at full load, and an optimized mode. The CPU full load test runs the CPU and case fans at their maximum speed. For the CPU and GPU full load acoustic test, we also stress the EVGA RTX 3050XC and set the fans at 75% speed, because in gaming the fans never run at 100% and are far too loud when they do. For the optimized mode, we run the GPU fan speed at 30% and run the CPU and included case fans at the lowest speed that they will spin. It should be noted that because this chassis doesn't include any fans, we're solely running the CPU fan for these tests. Again, you can mount a fan at the top for exhaust. Thus, since every exposed side of the case is meshed, heat accumulating inside shouldn't be a major issue. Since this is the first Mini-ITX case we tested on this platform, we don't have charts since there's nothing to compare it to. Stay tuned for more compact case reviews soon. We hope you found our in-depth review helpful and informative. Comment below if you have any questions about this review or explanation. Thanks for watching.